Demi negara yang tercinta, dicurahkan bakti penuh setia.
Wow, were you able to recognize that voice just now? If you did and you're a fan, don't go anywhere. I'm a fan, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm Frida Liu, and today on World Vision Malaysia's Stories of Hope, I'll be speaking to the iconic singer behind that voice. Francissca Peter, everyone. Hello, Fran, and welcome. I'm really excited to be speaking to you today with 5 platinum albums and 20 number one hits. You really are a legend in the industry.
Thank you, Frida. It's very sweet of you, very kind of you to say that.
When I hear you sing, right, and that song, I just remember hearing it every day just before the news and never getting tired of it, right? And I just love it. But let's get to what you've been doing. How are you doing, especially in the past year, right, with the pandemic and the unprecedented times? There's that word again that we're all facing.
Well, I think it was kind of hard. I think last year there was the sudden jolt, who would expect such a thing would happen to the whole world? In fact, everything coming to a halt, and then there's this anxiety, nervousness, and worry, anxiousness, because we don't know what this thing is, and having to stay at home, and next thing you know that all your jobs are cancelled, and you're just wondering, is this ever going to be over? How are we all going to even manage or cope? Coping is hard because I hard in the sense that there's this uncertainty, the uncertainty of, are we going to go back to our jobs? Are we going to get back the work that was cancelled? And my sister was just having a conversation with me a few days ago saying, Fran, if things don't pick up, maybe a couple of months time, if they ask you, if you feel like you want to go get rice or something, maybe you want to save money or what, and then she said, just do it lah. You can do it or not? I say, of course, what do you think? Because when you have gone through being, I never like to say the word poor. Right. We have gone through that poverty process, so we kind of know what it's like to have and sometimes not to have. So having said that, I told my sister, I said, of course I would do it, and we would, because we queue up just to get stuff so that we can go and give, sometimes we kind of think of like our security guards, and right, all this kind of thing. And then also I have to admit, I was behind even on my child sponsorship payment. I have to admit that because I'm also, I've got some responsibilities also, and I had to weigh it out. I was behind. And, of course, I've dealt with, directly, of course, with World Vision. And I always say, can you hold on a bit? So I managed to actually sustain and pay for my little child sponsorship. She's not so little after all. She's 14 years old now. And I was sponsoring her when she was 4 years old. Years ago, she's in Indonesia. The Lord is so merciful that the area where she lives in, my girl Noor, in Indonesia is phasing out now, because why, they can stand on their own. I said, oh God, thank God, so they can take care of themselves. And I was like, of course, pleasantly surprised. I said, oh, thank you, Lord. It's so important, that the children get an education, no matter what, no matter how little or so, to be able, I've always said this very important fact, to be able to read a document, to be able to sign your name on something. So you at least know, even if you may not understand it in great depth, but you know what you're signing. It plays such a huge role in changing their whole lives,
Exactly. And it's very interesting how you're saying that, you when you're growing up, you went through a difficult period as well. So you understand what people are going through. And it's been, an uncertain and challenging time, for all of us in the past year, right? The gravity, of course, depends on different people. I've heard what people say, we're all in the same storm, but some of us are in the yacht, some of us are in the sampan, right? Although we're all in the same storm, right? But can you share any lessons that you've learned about yourself, nuggets of wisdom during this period?
I think you can really shred down your whole life, shred it. The reality here is humility, humble. We can shred a lot of things. Sometimes, like I've got this friend, I can't mention names. I mean, he's quite someone. And he was talking about memberships. And I told him, I said, do you really need them? I asked him. And he said, but what? I don't even use it. What the hell even I want? I said, good point. That is something that you should think of. Because why? How often do you use a club membership anyway? Once in a while. Having said that, there's a lot you can cut back on and give up on this, give up. And all these things that you have, the money, you could save it for yourself, or you could give it to help someone.
Right. So shredding, what is necessary, keeping what's necessary, and with what you have, right, and to help others, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and hope is a powerful thing, and it gives us the will, the drive to keep moving towards a brighter future. You're talking about your girl, the 14-year-old girl. So what are your thoughts? Perhaps share how you're having hope in yourself, in others, a higher power, right? And how has that changed your life, your perspective?
Hope and faith always comes together for me. I'm hopeful, as in that I do believe that there are some, that God, as in a higher power, is a very merciful God and a very loving one. And sometimes when you are at your very lowest, He will pick you up. That is hope for me. My priest said this to me once. I was in my very lowest of lowest. And I made that one call to him. God bless his soul. He passed on. And he said, I want you to think about this. He said, are you so alone that there is no one, nothing, no one at all? Or are you sometimes alone, but you still have your family, a couple of good friends? So you think about this and you call me when you've thought it through. So that changed my whole life in the last 20 years. This is what I lived on.
Right. So faith and hope, right? And
Yes.
you sometimes you see the higher power when at that very moment when you need it the most, and suddenly it appears, and it's got to be a higher power, right? And it's clear that hope is important to you, and that you believe in bringing hope to others as well.
People are, so those who are very poor, the suicide cases, Frida, I'm sure you know,
Right. Yeah.
It's very high. It has been going on, but it has just escalated during this time. How sad and tragic is that? I know what that feels like.
Right. And just to wrap things up, right? I'd love to continue conversation with you. Do share with us what hope means to you, and how would you encourage listeners, viewers, right, to embark on their own personal journey of hope?
Hope is kind of like it's like a light. You want to say like a little candle light, a light at the end of the tunnel, that sort of thing. But hope is really each and every one of you. You are the hope for someone who has nothing. You are the hope itself for someone who needs you, your help.
Right. It's been such a privilege to hear from you, Francissca, Fran. Thank you for sharing your journey and, your very personal story. I heard it for the first time, and hope really is a powerful thing. And, God bless you. So child sponsorship is indeed a powerful way to make a difference and be a channel of hope to a child in need. As Fran shared, all of us can play our part. If you'd like to sponsor a child, visit worldvision.com.my and begin your journey today. Thank you. Stay safe.